Okay, next morning you can see that it's already getting some surface film. Don't know if the camera's picking that up, maybe not. So we'll see if this, I think you can just barely see it over here. We'll see if this surface skimmer filters it out or not. And there's what looks like salt crystals forming on the mangroves. I think they're actually excreting the salt. That's how mangroves survive this when other plants would not. Okay, it's the middle of the next day, and I don't think my little sponge on top of a power head is working as a surface skimmer very well, because you can see the film on the surface, and it's going right up to the intake sponge. And I don't know if the sponge may be absorbing some of it, but clearly it's not cleaning the surface very well. So I'm going to have to try something else. Okay, another week has gone by, and with a lot of fertilizer and a lot of growth hormone, I actually have some tiny little, see if the camera can get it, some tiny little roots starting to come back. This thing's been there a long time. Oh, wait a minute. Here. This one's been there a long time. I think it's not doing it. It's a tiny little root. But over here, and all of them have a little tiny bit. Fortunately, all that fertilizer did cause some milky white stuff, even in the salt water. So I'm sterilizing with hydrogen peroxide while I clean out the tank this weekend. And here is my first little bit of live rock. The local fish store was nice enough. Benny's Pet World, they said, they could just break me off a little piece I could afford and it would fit in this tiny tank. And it's got coralline algae on it, and I think when I put some fertilizer in there, it made some brown diatoms grow on it, which is fine too. Okay, so I finally got it torn apart and put all back together. Here you can see the live rock in the tank. It's really hard to get that in there in such a way that it's exposed to the light and still having the mangroves all balanced, but I finally got that. This power head surface skimmer thing didn't work out so good, but I'll keep this for later. I put 2 lights over it and have the heater down in the bottom this time, and I put a little sponge on the intake. I actually bought a filter that has a protein skimmer in it, but it's not here yet. So for now I put a bag of charcoal in the filter. Let's see how that works. Now, I did try dipping these mangroves in rooting hormone and then put them in the tank, but then all that came off them and started making the whole tank white, and it was worse than just putting a bit in the water. So I think we better just let them grow naturally from now, and if they don't ever root, I think the red mangroves may be more hardy. The only problem with them is they're big. Just the seed, or propagule as they call it, is actually like 10 inches. They're really huge, but might be able to find a way to use them too, so we'll see what happens.